So a lot of people complain they're getting cramps like when they're sleeping or during the day or whatever. What's the best way to overcome this?
Yeah, I mean, the common thing is that, people say, "Oh, your electrolytes, your electrolytes, your electrolytes." There's no real reason why you should have your electrolytes really unbalanced when you're on a carnivore diet, as opposed to a normal diet, and certainly as opposed to a normal diet, because you really are getting everything that you need, and you should not have to supplement. You might be in a particular situation where maybe you do, but that's quite uncommon. And maybe when you're transitioning, possibly you could your bodies are sort of figuring things out, maybe. But these are theoreticals. Quite often, people will take a lot of electrolytes. They'll take the magnesium and potassium and things like that. When we see people in the hospital with potassium issues, low potassium, we really don't see them having a lot of cramps. They have heart arrhythmias. That's the issue with potassium. Like it messes with your heart. Magnesium, sure, actually, when people actually do get cramps in the hospital, that's something we do look for. Like, okay, what's their magnesium? What's their calcium? Because those things, when they're too low, they can actually cause cramping. So those shouldn't be out of balance, though. They shouldn't be out of whack on a carnivore diet. But you can experiment with that. But what a lot of people find is that they'll take a lot of electrolytes, they'll up their salt, they'll do all this sort of things. They'll ask me, "I'm taking all these electrolytes, I'm taking magnesium, I'm taking calcium, I'm taking potassium, I'm doing all this salt, putting salt in water, drinking ocean water, and all these sorts of things." And I was like, I'm still getting cramps. It's just like most commonly cramps are from dehydration. Just not getting enough water. And so, and especially if you're already supplementing, you're just giving yourself a ton of electrolytes and you're still getting cramps. Well, that's obviously not the electrolytes, because you covered that, that base, and now, it's something else. And so generally, people say, "Oh, well, I put some salt in water and I drink a lot of water, drink that. And then it gets better." It's like, yeah, but was it the salt or was it the water?
Exactly.
In most cases, it's going to be the water. And so that's what I suggest to people is like, really increase your water. And I still get, leg cramps. I've always, gotten leg cramps if I get dehydrated. I'm playing a game, I don't get enough water, and I'm just running around, high physical exertion. And then that night, I'm just waking up and just screaming cramps. And I drink a bunch of water and they go away. Now I'll get that. I go to the hospital and I'm there for 16 hours. I don't drink water at all. And I, get home and, I don't get enough. And then I feel foot cramps, leg cramps, and things like that. Drinking enough water gets rid of that. I don't take any electrolytes or anything like that. Some people may need to, like if you have a legitimate sort of depletion, people that drink a lot of coffee, what is that going to do? That's going to sap you magnesium and it's going to dehydrate you. 2 big points in cramping. So these people may get a lot of cramps. Maybe they do need to take some magnesium in that case, but they also need the water. And really, what they need to do is
stop
cut
drinking
out the caffeine and the coffee. So that's the big one. Is really, if you're getting those leg cramps, electrolytes maybe, but really, remember water, because that's a major one.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people will say, "Oh, my potassium, my calcium, or my magnesium are low." And then we will sort of come back and we'll say, "Well, do you have any symptoms?" "No, I feel fantastic." And then and then I'm kind of thinking, well, are they really low, or are they kind of low to some sort of standard measurement that doctors have? And you've done a blood test and you think they're low. Like, for example, with potassium, is it actually common to have low potassium, or is that an issue?
Well, we'll see in the hospital sometimes. It crops up. But and a lot of medications can screw with your potassium or your sodium. Sodium has a lot to do with hydration as well. You can overhydrate, and if you're, sensitive to these sorts of things, you can sort of deplete some of your sodium, but you really have to work at it. You really have to work at it.
Yeah.
And
drinking water is safe, right?
Drinking water is safe, yeah. Especially if you're drinking to thirst. I mean, you can force yourself to do anything, and then that's not a good thing. And eventually drinking water will kill you. They've done studies in this back when it was ethically possible to do that. You just put a hose down, rabbits' throats and just fill them up with water, and they just see how much water it takes before their cells actually start to go into dysfunction and go into organ failure because they have so much water in their body. And so you extrapolate that out to, an animal our size, and it's about 50 gallons. Okay. So I don't know of anybody who's going to be doing that anytime soon.
No.
But it's possible. and but if you're drinking to thirst and you're not forcing yourself or anything like that, but it's just the water you're drinking is like, yeah, this is good, this is refreshing, you should be fine. You shouldn't have any issues with that.
Okay, awesome. Everybody drink more water.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the bottom line. You're not going to do any damage. Yeah. Just drink more water. It'll help your cramps. You don't need to add salt to everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you're eating more salt, you're actually going to increase your body's desire for water as well. So take home is just drink more water. Everyone will likely benefit from drinking more water. People don't realize just how good it is, and they feel a lot better when they start getting more water.